Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the match between the New Zealand Maori All Blacks taking on the Japan XV. Now, this one will be an intriguing game. This Japan XV, a little bit unknown in terms of some of the names that we are seeing here. New Zealand Maori, a few guys who just narrowly missed out on the All Blacks. I'm expecting a high-scoring game, and I'm expecting a few names to be made from this contest. But looking through at a few of the players who are going to be in this Japan XV. Now, I should mention this Japan XV is also coached by Eddie Jones. So not only is he coaching the Japanese national team, he is also going to be coaching this Japan XV. You wonder how he's going to juggle those two roles when he couldn't even get the one right when he was coaching Australia. But looking through, I mean, this back three, I believe, is going to be extremely speedy with Tuidraki out on the wing. Of course, a lot of power coming from that man, Nizuka out on the other, and then Yazaki at number 15. Eddie Jones, he'll be fired up for this game. He didn't quite get the result he was after in his game up against the English. I feel like this game, it could be a similar result if this Japan XV aren't able to get off to a great start in this contest. Now for the New Zealand Maori, the Maori All Blacks. Joe Moody at number 1 with Eklund and Renata as the front row. A couple men who were a part of that blue side that did take out the Super Rugby title. In the loose forward trio, Suafua, Harmon and Grace. A lot of physicality will be coming from those three. Quintupai and Daniel Rona. That is, I believe, where this game could be won or lost. That midfield combination from the Chiefs is always extremely strong indeed. But hopefully you guys are excited for this contest. Hang on. Did they just say that Joe Moody suffered an injury, so he is no longer... Yeah, it looks like Ollie Norris is going to be at number 1 for this matchup. It was the Maori All Blacks again, says Marius. So pretty much it is a little bit similar to the New Zealand XV, although it is based out of the players who are of Maori descent. We see there actually on the halfway line, the Japanese side awarding a shirt there to the New Zealand Maori in honour of Connor Garden-Bishop. A very nice touch from a respectful Japanese side. Will Peter Luckguy get a chance this season, says Manny M? That's a good question. He didn't get a chance for the All Blacks. It's Ollie Lawrence all over again, says Grant there. Yeah, something about the name Ollie just seems to chuck the wrong name in the back. Only 17% so far think Japan will win. That is because, of course, it is the Japan XV. Not many notable names in terms of, I guess, that familiar Japanese lineup. Like, we aren't seeing Fakatava in there. We aren't seeing... I mean, Naito Saito is going to be coming off the bench. He's probably the most notable. Osada in the midfield as well, but overall, a lot of players missing from what we would normally see for a Japan side. And next week, Fiji versus Georgia. Strong game, says Jupiter TMs. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to see how that contest does go, because, of course, Fiji, they have got that game, and then their next one's actually up against New Zealand in the USA. I wish they had one more game somewhere in there, though. I feel like they're a little bit light. And yes, they played the Barbarians, but I feel like they still need that extra game. Give them a little bit more. I know that Samoa are playing the Italians next week as well. We will also be covering that one on the channel. Wales versus Australia, New Zealand versus England, South Africa versus Ireland, France versus Argentina, just to name a few of the international games that are coming up just around the corner. We have got Hi All and Hamish, says Robert, welcome in. If you are doing well, Japanese rugby team are always respectful, says K-Dog NZ. They are, and I feel like that is why so many people love watching this Japanese side play. South Africa will win the T20 World Cup, says Manny M. Of course, that is happening in only around 4.5 hours' time. The haka is being done by the Maori All Blacks. Then they will be rearing to go here for the matchup. Hi, Hamish. Not that you're interested in that, but it's also in MotoGP weekend and the Netherlands, says Bruce there. And yeah, I did not know that, to be fair. I know that F1, it might, I don't know, is it an F1 weekend? I know they have plenty of them, so it's about 50-50 of whether or not I've got it right or not. You see there, Rame Kapoiapi, he is the player who has taken that jersey for Connor Garden-Bishop off the field. We saw the emotion on his face during the New Zealand national anthem in that Super Rugby Pacific final. This one's going to be an interesting one, though. Both of these sides have got huge amount of talent. We're going to quickly go like this. And we're going to go like this as well. So we haven't got our normal scoreboard, so we are going to have to update it by hand each time there is a try. So there we go. It's down the bottom. Almost looks all right, but we'll go with it. Have you played any more Rugby 25 today? I have not, no. We've been editing flat out. So unfortunately, I've hardly had a chance to even look at the game, to be honest. I wanted to have it just playing in the background with AI versus AI, just so that I could see how it works, but it's going to take a bit of getting used to. I would say afternoon, Hamish says, Stuart Moore, welcome in. Any chance you can cover today's rugby league match between England and France? Probably not, no. I think if we are going to cover anything later on, it might be the matchup of the under-20s between South Africa and Fiji, but that may be the only one that we have got. Hamish put Ollie Norris on the screen. Do you think that would be a good way of me remembering how to say it? I don't think it's so much his face that needs to remind me. It's just like the last name. It seems to be Lawrence, and Norris just keeps on switching between them. It is going to be the Japanese kicking off this one. We are now underway, ladies and gentlemen, for this contest. Yamasawa will be kicking this one off, nicely taken by the Maori All Blacks inside of their 22, and it's Cullen Grace, and who some thought might have made his way into that All Black side. Under 20 will beat Wales today. Eddie must be scraping the barrel. Japan must be scraping the barrel to have Eddie Jones as head coach. They would have paid him a huge amount of money, though. So, he'll be happy. He'll be getting whatever he got for the Aussies and probably a little bit more. That's running forward from Yazaki. I'll loop it around, play nicely done here for the Japan XV, who were considered underdogs going into this game. But beautiful run forward, little chip in behind. Chasing after this one, waiting for the bounce to Idraki. Does not get that ball, though. And the New Zealand Maori do have to clean it up 10 metres out from their line. Ravatamanda looking good on the sevens. Says Jupiter. And there as well. It's going to be interesting to see how he goes in the sevens. Because what games has he played at the moment, Jupiter, in terms of for them? Are they doing warm-up games at the moment, or is it just the clips of training that you're basing it off? Black Ops 6 looks like it's going to be awesome, says Joke the Woke. Who are you tipping to win the under-20s? I mean, certain sides have got, I think, a bit of an advantage in terms of those odds. Look at someone like, who won the under-26 Nations? Was it Ireland in the end? Managed to get themselves the win in that comp, or was it someone else managed to go ahead of them? But I feel like, it could be the top side from the Six Nations. Maybe, New Zealand or South Africa could have a bit of a chance. Yo, what's up, says Patrick. Welcome in. Our little offload there from the Japan XV to Idraki. A long way off his wing there, by the looks of it. The 5 phases in the middle of the field here for the Japan XV. Come back across. Koyama. And behind, nice attack and run, but big shot coming in from Balin Sullivan. Currently 40 metres out from the line. Scott Robinson has named me in the All Black squad. Look out for me against England next week. Says Manny Mo. That's a beautiful gap there. Up the middle for the young number 15, Yazaki. He's been taken down. Look for the offload. Doesn't get it. And it looked like New Zealand were also going for the offload there. And the first knock on was from the Japan XV. Like a bit of panic there from Reivez Reihana, trying to get it out the back line as quickly as he could. Like I've just said, Yazaki, the youngster, number 15, he isn't a full-time player yet. Also doesn't play in the Japanese top league. So, probably a great game to be able to get his name out there. A little bit front row weights, 24 kg for New Zealand. In fact, they've got the advantage, about 6 kgs extra per man in that forward pick. I hope in Rugby 25 we'll have more international teams next week or the week after. Says K-Dog NZ. Yeah, although I think they've got a lot of glitches that they have to fix first before getting into that. Like the fact that that ball kept on getting stuck in the breakdown was one. They don't have offside penalties at the moment in the game either. The only penalties you can actually get are the ones in the scrums. Passing on the outside. Is the Desert Warmth taking the chill off now? Says Flesh into Grant. Nice pass across to Ollie Norris. There we go. We got there in the end. Sam Knock goes across to Quinn Tupaia. Oh, keeps that ball alive for the New Zealand Maori. Being told to use it. Looks like it's going to be Sam Knock. The ball hasn't really come out for him though. And yeah, it's going to be a Japan XV scrum The ball wasn't coming out. Knock was complaining, but the referee did say use it, and they just sat there looking at him. Tēnā koutou, Tama Kiwi says, Blues Nate, who you got winning All Blacks or England, says Patrick White. Well, the benefit that England do have is they've had a warm-up game. But at the same time, New Zealand shouldn't be too shabby, seeing as they've just come off that Super Rugby season. It's been a long time since I've been in your live, says Jack. Good game. It is indeed. It's been quite some time. And hi, says Patrick. Hello. Only 5 minutes in at the moment. Scrum feed for Koyama. I want to get a Maori jersey, says Manny M. Well, now's probably the best time to get it, because I believe the All Blacks store is selling them. But outside of the Maori All Blacks season, I don't think there's many of them available. That's a big scrum from the Japan XV. They've got themselves the penalty advantage as well, and they will win the early penalty. They'll be able to add 3 points on to the scoreboard if they get it right here, which is massive for them early on in a contest. Those points up against the New Zealand Maori. Good start for the Japanese. Oh. Okay, they've gone for touch here. That is quite bold from Japan. I thought that they would have looked towards the corner, to be honest. I didn't expect a kick. Or sorry, going for the post rather than the other option. Can't lose against the Japan B team, says Leo. And Scott Burst says Jack. And also, what's up, Kiwi lads and community, says Warren. Welcome in, mate. If you are keeping well, currently the Japan XV, they are 10 metres out from the New Zealand Maori's line. Big run from Tua in the midfield. Samasoni Tua, that is. And through the gap, Japan. They are down, or are they? The referee is going to have a look at this one. They may have just scored the first try of this contest, though. The Japan XV. What a start that would have been. Okay. On-field decision is try. They just want to check to see whether or not there was a knock-on earlier. Crowd are not happy about it, but I don't know why they would be, with the fact that they are going to be looking upstairs. And 10 metres, 1 try. We might change up our scoreboard a little bit. We might go to the one that we have used before. Wallace Satiti is going to put rings around England. Just checking it. That looked like it could have been a knock-on. Just a little bit, unfortunately. So I don't think that is quite the one that they wanted there for the Japan XV at the start of this contest. Ooh, okay, it's going to be a try. It's going to remain as a try because he was losing control, but he still had control of it, they say. Well, that works well. I'll be happy enough with that one. One moment, we will go like this. We'll create a scoreboard, hopefully. And Crusader says, Jack, and what Super Rugby team do you go for? I don't really have a Super Rugby team, per se. Like, I normally I go with the flow, if that makes sense. But the Japan XV, they are going to be in the lead in this contest, ladies and gentlemen. We will quickly write into the scoreboard that they are now leading this contest. It should be a relatively tricky kick, but I wouldn't put it past them to be able to nail it. We'll go with NZ Maori. Just away to the side for that kick attempt there. But once again, still a great start to the match for the Japan XV. Can I go like that? Okay, that doesn't look great. We'll go like that too. I probably should have done this before the game, but I thought that the other scoreboard would go all right in terms of not looking terrible. But that one that I just made looks absolutely awful, so we won't use it. 7.5 minutes gone in this contest, ladies and gentlemen. Japan playing well, says Stuart Moore. He was losing control, but still had control. Makes no sense. Says Grant. Yeah, so pretty much they said he's lost control, but we couldn't see whether or not there was clear separation after losing control. So you give the benefit of the doubt to the on-field try that they've gone with. Poll indicates New Zealand Maori favourites here, says Arthur. Yeah, coming in as quite heavy favourites here in New Zealand. Only 8 minutes in, Sam Knock asking for the penalty, and he does end up getting the advantage. Here comes Cullen Grace. I don't think many people were predicting the Japanese XV to be the first side to score a try. Nice pass on the outside. Knock goes to Josh Morby. Great pace shown by him. Of course, heading off to Montpellier in the near future. Plays halfback, goes across to Kurt Eklund. Gets them to within 2 metres now for the New Zealand Maori side. Cullen Grace goes across to Cameron Thor. That is over. And New Zealand Maori have got themselves the try now. That is really their first position inside of Japan's half. And they manage to get it on the score sheet, and that has made the crowd extremely silent. And come on, Maori, says Manny M. And poll indicates New Zealand are the favourites. And what happened to Joe Moody? Injury before the game. I'm not sure what the extent is. But, yeah, unfortunately for him, something happened before the game, which did mean that Ollie Norris does make his way into the side. Nice work from Cullen Grace and Ollie Norris to get him over the line for the big man, Cameron Suafua. The Maori All Blacks, only 10 minutes in now. We have got a try for both of these sides. Game clock, where you at? Or where we at? We are currently 10 minutes in. Yeah, I was trying to make an online scoreboard, but I did not like the look of it, to be honest. Okay, cheers, Amish. Says Blues Nate there. We might try and do. It's going to look a bit weird, but we'll put about that. Yeah, we'll go about there. We'll say 13 minutes. We're not quite there yet, but we will be. So that will make sense. And Reves Reihana has also missed the kick there. Other rugby game I watched today, says Jack, for that one earlier on. And okay, cheers, Amish, says Blues Nate. Flip New Zealand is like an avalanche. They get going. You best get off the mountain, says Warren. Did you watch the wires? I did not know. I have been editing pretty much since I got up today. And I think we're going to be up till around 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. So it's going to be a fun one. Going to be doing a lot of editing along the way. Nicely taken by, it was Daniel Rona this time. Let's kick it into touch. Gets them down to about 35 metres out from the line now for the Japan XV. Harada will be the hooker for this one. And it's going to just taken, but then knocked on, unfortunately, for the Japan XV by Kuwano. And now we're going back for a knock-on from the New Zealand Maori. It might have been from Marcel Renata. Off his knee first, I think they've just said there. Where is the knock-on? It's not there, because that went backwards. Might have been Marcel Renata afterwards when he went to ground, I assume. A weekend's boring without Super Rugby. The Maori have beaten the British Irish Lions, says Manny M. Well, they did actually, their most recent game. It's been a little while, but it was up against the Irish in the July 2022 series. I must say you added a laugh to my day watching your early release Rugby 24 gameplay. Yeah, that game was not great, but yeah, well, it can get better. That's the best thing. It can't get worse, I don't believe, than what they've got at the moment. And someone saved Japan from Eddie Jones. It's going to be another penalty going the way of the Japan XV. That's the second scrum penalty. Big front row. Yeah, just forcing the Maori All Blacks sideways. And that one, how do you stay awake for so long? Says K-Dog NZ. I don't really know. I think it's just because when you feel like you've got something to do, definitely on the weekends in terms of like random hour live streams, you just get used to powering through and just waiting until you're finished. But yeah, we get long hours on the weekends normally. Action areas at the moment, only 7% of this game has taken place inside of Japan's half. Now, XV rolling it forward here again. Ball's in the hands of Harada at the back. This one is working quite well for them at the moment. The New Zealand Maori, they have given away the penalty advantage. Zaiwaka Leowiri tried to go straight through the middle. And the penalty again will go the way of the Japan XV. They will be able to kick this one towards the touchline. Continue doing what they already have been, which is, they're looking strong at the set piece. 6 more days left for Razors All Blacks, says Manny M. Like they've just said, not the biggest pack. But, they're not doing badly. They're staying in it. Number 4, changing bind. Is what the call is there. Like they've said, just keeping control at the moment. In one moment, we will go like that. And we will, how do we go like that? There we go. And we'll go like that. We'll go like that as well. Hopefully, by the second half, we will have a decent-ish looking scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe. We're working on it. Now, another line out here for the Japan XV. A little bit of a stoppage here, bit of a problem with Lachlan McWannell's nose by the looks of it. Might have gotten a bit of a knock on it. Looks like a decent crowd at this game. There's one section that looks quite empty at the moment, unfortunately. But other than that, which team has had the most possession? Definitely the Japan XV. New Zealand Maori have hardly been able to touch this ball at this point. So, they will definitely be disappointed with the fact that it's just not really flowing for them at the moment. All right, we'll go like this. And like that. There we go. Hang on. We're going to get this sorted. Like that. That's a beautiful rolling ball though here. The Japan XV, they've been told to use it. It's available at the back. Big storming run forward. They're only 10 metres out again. They have got a very good chance. Oh, another penalty. Right, I think I've got a scoreboard sorted, ladies and gentlemen. It's a rough looking one, but it might have to do. Oh, time's been turned off by the ref. It's probably a last warning for the New Zealand XV at the moment, with how many times they have infringed throughout the early stages of this match. We'll go like that. Change your behaviour or someone's going to the bin, we've just heard. There we go. It's not the greatest scoreboard we've ever seen, but it's probably a little bit better, I would say, than the other one that we did have. What do you think of the new All Blacks jersey, says K-Dog? Interesting. They've got the collar, don't they? So, should do the job, I guess you could say. Go back about 20 seconds so that we are matching up with the exact score. I think that's good. Right. Sorted. Easy. Oh, that's not straight, unfortunately, for Mamoru Harada. And they'll be disappointed with that, Japan, just because they've done all the hard work of getting down just out from New Zealand's line to then end up giving up that possession. How's Big Joe Moody going? He's not playing due to an injury. That collar looks a bit big, in my opinion, says K-Dog. Yeah, it is quite bulky, the collar. I think it's supposed to be that throwback to the old school collars, but yeah, it is pretty huge. Hopefully it looks all right in the games, though, if that makes sense, because sometimes, I don't know why, but kits look different when they're in action. It's like the New Zealand Rugby World Cup kit from 2023. Some people didn't like it when they just looked at it, but when it was actually on the players while they were playing, they started to like it a little bit more. But I think that's just because they got to see it from further away. Cullen Grace goes off to the short side to Josh Morby. Let's kick it down the field. Currently 15 minutes through this contest. 5-all between these two sides now. Back across. Nicely claimed there Ball on the outside. Look like players leaving their feet there for the New Zealand Maori. Nice looping around play here for the Japan XV. They even considered a kick in behind, but it sits up for Cullen Grace, who got his offload away to Josh Morby. One more to knock, but this time it's going to be knocked on. What's a better name, Hamish? New Zealand Hories, I assume that is. New Zealand All Browns. I mean, it's just the Maori All Blacks, isn't it? I don't think they'll go with either of those two. Against the Japan XV, of course, in this one. And Dan Moody, pretty typical for him, though. Good Lincoln man, though. Says Mr. Porkchop. I like the new jersey. Can't wait to buy one. Says Manny M. Now, currently, in fact, can we... Oh, we can change the border background. Can we change the fact that it's just blue? I don't think so. What did that do? Did that do anything? It did not. Okay, I don't know what I just did. I tried to do something, and it didn't work. My scoreboard looks very different to the one that they have got for what it should look like. But nice backline here now for the Japan XV. It's going to be the youngster again. Yazaki goes through. Beautiful pass. And they move up to 22 metres out now. All that's through the middle from Cameron Sewer for a little bit of a cheap shot there. And now the cross kick. It's wide open out wide to a Drake. Oh, he's dropped it. Balin Sullivan stops him from scoring. That is fantastic defence. Dislodges the ball out of the hands of Viliami Tuadrake. New AB's kit is nod to a 25-year sponsorship from Adidas, so the retro look. Says Max up. Eddie Jones, he will be frustrated because that could have been a beautiful cross-kick try there for the Japan XV. Just gets it knocked out of his hands by Balin Sullivan with that last-ditch defence to stop him from getting the ball down. But Japan still had the advantage. Hang on, we got time off here. Oh no, they're using the water break. The collar on the AB shirt could work as a break. It's a bit large, says Fleshin. Right, they're showing Cameron Suafua. He was the man who actually got penalised in that one. And he got a yellow card for it as well for going through. I like the new ABX kit, but I am old. Says Novmum. And there as well. What a try saver by Bailey. Solid. Yeah, Cameron Suafua making it now 14 on the field. It's an awkward one for the neck of, I think it was Koyama. Or Koyama, I should say. It was in that breakdown and then it's got knocked through the middle. The new jersey, more like the traditional one. I like the white collar. Says Manny M. Suafua, he's already scored himself the try today, of course. Now, New Zealand Maori cannot afford to give away too many more penalties here because they have already given away a stack of them. We've got another water break that is, of course, due to the heat that these players are having to try and play rugby in. Currently, possession is 72% in favour of the Japan XV as well, so they're doing very well. I feel like maybe New Zealand weren't expecting this. Māori scrum is useless, says Reflecting Trees. Yeah, I mean, Japan XV, I think they've won 2 or 3 already in terms of those penalties. I still can't get hold of a Springbok jersey, says Manny M. I think you're going to be trying for a very long time too, because at the end of the day, there is a whole nation still trying to get their hands on those jerseys after the World Cup win from 2023. So I think it's going to take a while to be able to get one. Now, doing well through the middle. Lachlan McWannell manages to turn that ball over. Japan XV trying to get in there and collapse the maul. It's available now for the New Zealand Maori. They are inside of their own in-goal area. There's a Reihana. Has to put that one into touch. Yeah, it's great work from Lachlan McWannell. Goes through the middle. Does it exactly well. I'm surprised that he wasn't one of the players that were talked about for a possibility of that New Zealand All Blacks side. Is it a young person thing to say XV and not 15? I don't know. It's just, I feel like, I don't know what sentence I'm trying to say. I feel like at one stage, like maybe within the last 5 or 10 years, they changed it to XV just because of the confusion, I think, when there were talks of, tell you what, that's a beautiful run, like in New Zealand XV. Like South Africa A, that makes sense because, of course, well then A doesn't, well shouldn't it be South Africa B when you really think about it? Because South Africa A, I would think, would be the international side. So it's an interesting one. Certainly gets the head working a little bit. It's going to be a nice turnover there for Sam Knock. His turf has been torn up at the moment by these players throughout the first 20 minutes of the contest. A lot of pressure on at the moment. Got to go back a little bit. I think surely they're not having another water break. We just had one of those 2 minutes ago. And True says, a Blues, Nate. Why you want a Springbok jersey? Toilet paper? Pfft. It'd be worth a lot of money, to be fair. Now, looking for the touchline here. Reves Rehana. Put it into touch. Very nice kick downfield. And this will be one of the first times that New Zealand have been inside of the Japan half. I'd say about 10 minutes or so. I think that last one was probably when they managed to score their first try of the match with Suafua, who is now, of course, no longer on the field. Ollie Norris, he was added into that starting lineup in this match. Late injury of Joe Moody. Kurt Eklund, though, to throw this one in. Nicely done. Well claimed by Lachlan McWannell. Eklund 40 metres out with the ball in hand. Goes across to Quinn Tupaia. Now Knock goes to the right-hand side. A little bit of a handling error there. I believe it went through the hands of Cullen Grace, which now gives the ball back to the Japan XV. They've got a forward pass there right in front of the referee's eyes. And they'll go back for the original scrum. Every time Yazaki is involved in this Japan XV backline, he is having a real impact at the moment. Currently another 6 minutes remaining of this Cameron Suafua yellow card. I should mention they've said a little bit earlier on that this is a 2-match series between the Japan XV and the Maori All Blacks. I'm curious to know how Eddie Jones will balance his time, though, because, of course, Japan are also playing in the July Internationals, so he's trying to coach 2 sides at the same time, which, surely that's a little bit difficult to do, isn't it? If you got one side, the international side just played England last week, didn't quite have the best run. Japan XV doing very well in the early stages of this one up against New Zealand Maori. Looks like Quintapai is actually packing down. That was a massive early push there from the Japan XV. Looks like they're getting early jump there at scrum time and they're getting that big solid push in early. Just looking at the moment in terms of where Japan are going next. In the July Internationals, I believe Japan, they play next week up against the New Zealand Maori for the Japan XV. And then Japan have Georgia in 13 days' time. And then they have Italy the week after. So still a couple more games going. I'm surprised the scoreline is all tied up, says CK. I think a lot of people are. New Zealand were $1.03 favourites here in New Zealand, but they really haven't played the way that a lot of people thought that they would. Cole Forbes, this is his first touch on attack. It was in the Maori All Blacks that some of the unlucky guys who missed out on Razor's side are playing. They are indeed. So, I mean, Quintapai, probably one that a lot of people felt should have been in the All Blacks, or could have been anyway. Cullen Grace in that loose forward trio. In the locks, you've got McWannell. That's not going to be a nice pass on the outside. Little chip behind from Daniel Rona. Went towards the touchline and just keeping this one alive was the Japan XV. Getting ready to pass this one back towards their 22 at the moment. Bit of an injury and back play by the looks of it. Looks like Samasoni Tua was a bit slower getting back up to his feet, so he will defend right near the touchline. Going for the kick up high for Koyama. Pass across from Josh Morby to Cole Forbes. Young Blues fullback. quite the impact throughout Super Rugby season. Knock goes for the kick in behind, saw the space, and does get the ball to go into touch. Crowd, a very respectful clap on that kicker, Sam Knock. And while they need to put their hands up, Razor's decision will be proved correct, says CK. Because we were considering doing a video of the ones who were unlucky to miss out on the All Blacks squad. It's probably, is it too late to do that video now? I feel like we're getting close to the cutoff of maybe we've waited a bit too long to be able to release a video like that. Definitely because we are just around the corner from the All Blacks actually playing up against the English. It actually looks like Daniel Rona is also down with some sort of injury at the moment, but Ross Filippo, the coach, watching on. The score is tied at VV, says Grant there. Can I? Oh, I was going to see whether or not I could actually change it to say V, but I don't think it will let me. It actually looks like a head knock here for Daniel Rona. He will have to make his way from the field for an HIA. So Ramika Poihipi is the man who makes his way onto the field now. And that is to replace the injured Daniel Rona. Okay, he was having a chat there with Quinn Tupai, so I don't know whether or not that was him. He was kind of going like this. I don't know if that's him saying, I don't think I'm good to continue, or if that's him saying, I don't think I'll be off for long. But either way, Ramika Poihipi now is onto the field. Got a lot of Chiefs talent in that midfield. The fact that they can take one of the Chiefs players off who were in great form throughout the season and bring on another one in Ramika Poihipi, who actually started in the Super Rugby Pacific final ahead of Quinn Tupaia. Japan just outside of their 22. They will boot that one down the middle of the field. Nicely claimed there at the back. Cole Forbes looks for the up and under, and it's a awkward swirling one, not quite taken cleanly for Yamasawa. Going for the kick of his own. Gets it down to Reveza Rehana. Into the 22. No mark taken by Japan XV. And that one's gone into touch. Not a bad territory gain there by either side, really. We saw some good solid kicks down towards the opposition 22, and in the end, ended up with New Zealand Maori getting the line-out throw. But here comes Kurt Eklund. 2 minutes remaining of that yellow card as well, I should mention. Rolling more here for the New Zealand Maori. They're asking the question of whether or not it could be counted as an advantage for the player up underneath, and they will get their wish. Now Sam Knock goes back across Quinn Tupaia. Pass on the outside. Nice step in there from Cole Forbes. Looping around with Josh Morby. Puts the boot in behind. Balin Sullivan chasing after it, and it goes into touch. And they'll go back for the original penalty. I'm feeling my age here, having learnt Latin a bit at school. See, I couldn't even tell you a single word of Latin. Mainly because we don't learn it anymore, unfortunately. Like, I could tell you like a few words of Maori, a little bit of German, and by a little bit I mean like 2 words. Little tiny bit of Portuguese, like 2 words of French. Nothing really substantial enough to hold a conversation in any other language, really. Morning, mate, says Dennis, welcome in. We are keeping well. Reveza Rehana now, kicking that one into touch. I need to hire you as a commentator, says E-Man. I don't know about that. It took me about 25 minutes to work out how to put a scoreboard up, so I feel like, you know, that's probably something they'll hold against me a little bit. It was the first language for many people when you were in primary school, after all, says Grant. So what is Latin? Like what's a Latin word that's going to be a free kick for New Zealand Maori? Now Quinn Tupaia once again throwing himself at the line. I feel like he is on the verge of making his way into that All Black side, although it was a bit disappointing to see that David Havili was one of the players who were training with the squad as the replacement if there were any injuries in the centres. Definitely because of the season that he's had. Here comes Cullen Grace down the wing. Look for the offload on the inside. Keeps the ball alive. And Sam Knock now going to be tackled well. Cullen Grace having to play half-back again. Goes across to Quinn Tupaia. And I'm trying to say XV is Latin for 15. I thought XV was Roman numerals. Is that Latin? It probably is. I've just made myself look like an idiot more than likely. Hi, says John. Reaching out at the line, can't quite get there now. Eklund, he has got it down. And it's the try now for New Zealand Maori. They've got some possession, which is a big bonus. We'll add some points on the board as well. Kogito Ergo Sum. Right. You will know Kapi Dim. And to Mickey Eklund, I was surprised Austin Saluda never made the team. A lot of people were, but then, you know, there were a few stats that went against him quite heavily, Hoskins. But, you know, a lot of people still thought he may have just snuck in there, which is seize the day. Huh. There you go. Where's Moody? He's injured, unfortunately. I reckon it will be a draw, says Josh. We'll make the second match well and truly on the line. They are going to be playing next week as well. Anyone wondering what time that game is taking place? It is at 9 p.m. It's at the same time as Australia-Wales, or at least overlaps with it. Aurora Borealis. Does that have something to do with the sun or like the sky or something? Aurora. Areola, that's a nipple, isn't it? Which is not what you put. We have got there. Razor has selected a team of power and pace, says Manny M. And also saying, yes, we weren't sure. You were taking the piss out of us Oldens, says Fleshin. Oh, that was just over. Just went off the post for Reves Rehana, and that is now going to make the score 12 points to 5, ladies and gentlemen. Northern Lights. I was almost correct, other than the second half that I said, but first half wasn't a mile off. He was nervous for Reves Rehana as he was watching that one go towards the post. Currently 10 minutes remaining in this first half. Ramika Poyapi sells the dummy. Is tackled in the end. And I hope all is well, says Simran. Hopefully all is well with yourself as well. Currently New Zealand Maori are up by 7 points, but they're making hard work of it. They had to try very hard. Areola is not the nipple, it's the area around the nipple. It's also braille for suck here. Right, well there you go. Time was up before he kicks their Seller. I'll be honest, I wasn't even watching the clock. So I'll believe you. There's a strong squad, All Black team. You selected Hamish. England will find that team tough to beat, says John. Now around the side for the Japan XV going to the short side. Tamoki Osada. Across. Some big contact. Why is the Wallabies falling down the ranks? I mean, Eddie Jones didn't help them, did they? But like they might go all right this year. I hope that they do anyway. I have a good feeling about the All Blacks this year. Says, no, mum. Japan not too bad. They're getting better, says E-Man. And a 4-pack full of Super Rugby players are getting dominated at scrum time. Says me there. Well, it says me, the person, rather than me, as in me. Now kicked him behind from Reves Rehana looking for the 50-22, but he won't get it. The mark is called by the young number 15, Yazaki, for the Japanese. You okay, Grant? Says Josh. Japanese Tamariki welcome the Maori ABs with a haka. Pre-Miki Tamafriki Pukana, says Blues Nate. Currently 31 and a half minutes through. He's going to take the quick tap and boot this one into touch. Or does he? No, doesn't manage to find touch in the end with it. So Cole Forbes. Kick it down the middle of the field. This is the All Blacks team. All Crusaders, Chiefs, Hurricanes, Blues players. Not a single Highlander in it. They have got Ethan de Groot in the side. I believe he is the only Highlander, though, that managed to make the All Blacks. So he'll feel very special, but also probably quite lonely. Luckily, though, he was already in the All Blacks last year, so he'll have some friends. It's like when you get transferred to a new school and you know no one, but he knows people because he's played with them before, but not in that way. Now nicely taken by Cullen Grace to go to an all-boys school. Don't know why I threw that in there, but currently 45 metres out from the line here for the New Zealand Maori. How about Vicky? That's pretty well known. Nope, not for me. He's the only one, says Josh. Now, nice offload. Reves Rayana goes to Cullen Grace on the outside. And also we have I think the first test will be close, and the second one, the All Blacks will steamroll England. I think some of the Blues weren't picked in case they needed for Ireland, says Josh. And also, I saw I conquered. There you go. See, I didn't learn Latin at all at school, and I think that shows. But yeah, big shot coming in from Tuidraki. Did he end up, was it a deliberate knock-on? I think it just became a line out there, but Eddie Jones been very calm. Okay, Eklund about to throw this one in. Currently 12 points to 5. It's gone over the top. Reves Rayana behind Balin Sullivan now. Goes across to Quinn Tupai. I want the Wallabies to give the All Blacks a game this season. There's Manny M. Now inside ball from Isaiah Walker-Leawedi is extremely poor. His handling has not been great throughout the Super Rugby Pacific season. It seems like that is continuing into his Maori All Blacks career. Currently the Japan XV are considered $13 underdogs, ladies and gentlemen. Which, I mean, they won't be hugely happy with. But at the end of the day, you know, it's not going to be the end of the world. At the moment, only 5 points down. We'll go like this. We'll go like that. There we go. The good Wallabies team is needed. Says Manny M. I didn't learn Latin. I got from a Metallica song. The rest are from some movie or the other. I use Latin most days. Most plants have Latin names. Can't spell most stuff in English as you can see. No problem in Latin, says Dennis there. Oh, the penalty goes away in New Zealand Maori here. That one's gone a little bit in the opposite direction. Who scored the try? So far we've seen Kurt Eklund score. We have seen the first try for New Zealand Maori was scored by Cameron Soa-4. And then I'm not actually too sure who scored the first Japanese try. I thought it was Harada, but I could be wrong. In the end, who managed to get over that line. One has gone a Dutch about 7 metres out here for the New Zealand Maori. A very good chance to add some more points on the board here. I've just said that the All Blacks are synonymous with the open play type of venture. That's a very fancy word. I've already forgotten, what was it? Synonymous. Was that the word? How do you spell that? There's got to be at least 2 S's in there. Maybe even 3. Nah, maybe only 2. Nicely taken by Cullen Grace. Now Billy Harmon, no one there. And the man runs straight through the gap. Most animals are Latin too, but some Greek. Because you always see like, it says in the dictionary, like what does it say? Something like a Latin... Something Latin, you know, from the Latin word this, you know, it normally says that, doesn't it? A nice run from Billy Harmon, just goes through the middle. We'll go like that, and the score now going to be 17 points to 5 in favour of the Maori All Blacks. Synonymous. There we go, only 2 S's, starts with an S, ends with an S, and's got Inunimu in the midfield. Maths. Tries today, 1 for Billy Harmon. He is the co-captain of this Maori All Blacks side. I'll be happy enough with that one. I don't know why I said that like that. Right, the shot clock for Reves Rayana. At the moment, he's got 32 seconds. Let's see if he gets the kick away in time this time. Seeing as now we're going to look at it a little bit closer. We have to hurry up, though. He's only got 21 seconds, and he's only just starting to wind this one up. Did you get a haircut? I did not know. I'm just losing my hair. We have got there. I've been doing well. Enjoyed my pizza day. Have been keeping warm. Yeah, you are. I hope you are too. Says Zimran there, and that one has missed. For Reves Rayana, he managed to get over the hard kick, but didn't get over the slightly easier one. Some are both Lion is Panthera. Leo, I think, first bit Greek, last Latin. Says Dwayne. There you go. I would say a good video idea would be me and George trying to learn Latin, but it just wouldn't go well because we'd both just forget everything we learn after 10 minutes. Kicking this one off again for the Japan XV. Hi, Ols. Happy Marariki. Says Glenn Woods there. Welcome and hope you are keeping what? Ooh. Japan have ended up with their ball again off kickoff. So far, possession is in their favour. Oi, that was a bit high from Balin Sullivan. Now to Drake with a lot of space to work with. He's run straight at Quintapai. Beats today Sorry, that's not how you wrote it. It was nice one, A. With one at Y. Very well, see a nice cuppa. You mean learn Italian? Sure. That's going to be not coming out of that breakdown. Oh, there's got a TMO check here. There was a head contact, I've just said. It might be Balin Sullivan from that earlier one doing a slightly high tackle. Hang on, I'm going to have to turn the time off, aren't I? Oh, okay, like I've just said, if you get a red card in this game, you're gone. Oh, it's Rameka Poihipi. My hand on heart. Have we a snowball's chance of beating South Africa next weekend? Honestly, I do not know. Because, honestly, it could go either, well, there's chances, I think that it's going to be a very intriguing game. But Glasgow have shown that you can beat a South African side in South Africa. So, that's one bonus, I guess you could say, from recent history. Cortez Ratama or TJ at 9. We have got there Mary Martin as the 10s. John Stevenson 12, Joseph Martin 13. And number 8, that's the Maori ABs. Right, they're not seeing a high degree of danger. They're looking at a yellow card here for Rameka Poihipi. And he's actually come on for Daniel Rona, the HIA. We have got there Wakes, no chance in hell. Look at that box squad. Or Wales, no chance. And I Amish from Durban. Thanks for the great stuff, says Brian. My high school motto was Dulcius ex ardius, which means satisfaction comes from hard work. That was the only Latin I knew till law school. There you go. Dulcius. I'm probably even pronouncing them wrong, aren't I? Now, not much time left in this half. Japan XV will once again look to kick this one towards the corner. The Maori All Blacks, their discipline's not helping them out at the moment. They have been penalised around maybe 8 or 9 times throughout this first half. Japan XV just getting it right. Katie Pai says a Blues Nate. Pai does look good as well, doesn't it? They've got just a minute remaining now. And the Japan XV taking it well. Going to get this one rolling forward. HEB Navin Pizza. Put pineapple on it, says Glenn Woods. See, I feel like you got to be in a certain mood for a pineapple on a pizza, don't you? I feel like you got to make sure you... Ooh. Is pineapple on pizza more of a summer or a winter thing? So I feel like probably summer, if you had to pick. I feel like winter there are better things to have on it. Are you covering any All Blacks under 20 games, says John? I think we're going to be covering a game at the same time as the under 20s All Blacks game, so we'll be able to do a little bit of co-commentary for that one. That's a nice pass on the outside for the Japan XV, but that is at 5 a.m. New Zealand time. So that's in about 6 hours that one has taken place. No one really knows what Latin is supposed to be sounded like. So go wild with your pronunciation. Just kidding. Yes, summer for shell. And pineapple on pizza is never a thing, says Grant. Oh, that was a hard head knock for Japan XV, but they are still in position. Yazaki into the 22. That's a knock on there. That's going to be half time in this contest, I believe. Yes, it is. You're doing any under 20s games? So, yeah, South Africa versus Fiji, I believe, is the only one we're doing today, or at least that we want to do today. I have to make sure that we can watch them in New Zealand and everything along those lines first. But if we can watch those games, that's the plan. And good adjustments by the boys. yeah, half time in this contest, and 17 points to 5. They've done well to fire back 3 more tries after conceding first to the Japan XV. We have got there a solid Glenn Woods and good adjustment by the boys. And also Robert is not a fan of pineapple on pizza, which is fair enough. Like, I feel like pineapple on pizza, I'm still like everything. I'm in the middle. I don't know whether or not I like it or I hate it. Even though I've had it before, I just still don't know whether or not it's for me. I've seen the Seven Sisters so far. Says Glenn Woods. No. Well, who's seen the Seven Sisters so far? Are they playing sevens at the moment? Is someone playing sevens? And we're winning, but Japan is also doing well. Says Reflecting Trees. How many Japan first team players in the XV? Says Dwayne. Maybe like 2. 3 maybe if you're really lucky. Osada was there at the Rugby World Cup, so was Naito Saito, who is coming off the bench. But I'm not really sure about too many other ones. So, yeah. It's going to be an interesting one to see how they go in the second half when they lose some of their experience. Well, when they might gain a little bit of experience. Like, there's not a lot of experience there to work with, though. We have got there, South Africa should have an Afrikaans team. Or, sorry, an Africans team. South Africa Africans. I mean, they have South Africa A, which kind of, I guess you could say, in a way, if that was abbreviated, it is SAA, isn't it? So, you know, you might be onto something. A little bit. Yeah, 40 minutes through at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, in this contest. And I feel like New Zealand should be strong enough to close out this game. But you just never know. But we should mention next week, ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of games that are taking place. One moment, we will go like this, and we will quickly check the odds. And we will see exactly how they do sit. So currently, New Zealand are favourites. Now, all the games that are taking place next week, there are tons of them that are going to be taking place. We have got a whole week from the likes of South Africa versus Ireland, to New Zealand versus England, to Australia versus Wales, Georgia versus Fiji, USA, Romania, Samoa, Italy. That is actually the first game. That is at 4 p.m. on Friday. I don't spill into that's someone else's job to do. Says Simran there. Japan XV versus Maori All Blacks also taking place next week, alongside Argentina versus France and Canada versus Scotland, followed by Uruguay versus France the next Thursday. So there's a lot of games that are all going to be taking place. Game on Maori television at the moment, but I'm watching you instead, says E-Man, so hugely appreciated for you being here. Any idea why Stevenson wasn't in the New Zealand Maori team? I believe he's got an injury. Like, I know his hamstring was playing up in the semi-final, or like before the semi-final, which is why he didn't play there. But I would say that they've realised that his injury might be a little bit worse, and they wanted to rest him for this series, I would think. Unless, is he in the squad for the New Zealand Maori? I never actually remember seeing his name in that one. I could be wrong, though. But yeah, there's a few guys who are nursing relatively serious injuries. Well, not serious as in you're going to have months off, but just serious enough that they could lead to a big injury if they do end up continuing playing. I just looked down. My pen's actually got, I don't know whether or not it's going to focus. It's probably not going to, as you guys can see there. Look at that. It's got my name on it. I didn't even realise this was the pen that I was holding on to. There you go. Nice prediction for the All Blacks lineup, Hamish. That a lineup could sink captainship of England, says Blues Nate. And yeah, we are actually hoping to have another one coming out soon for South Africa. And then we were considering doing a video about the players who were unlucky to miss out on the All Black squad, but we might be a little bit late for that. Do you guys still want to see a video looking through? I think I had a list of about 13 players who were unlucky to miss out on the All Blacks. So would you want to see that video, or would you prefer, since we're about a week later? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So conversions, Yamasawa did miss the conversion. Reves Rehane, he's only sitting 1 from 3 at the moment, though. So I feel like he is in another position where, no one's really been able to do too great. Harada was the man who did score that first try for Japan XV, though, and that was actually their only try that they were able to score in this contest. One moment, we go like that, and like that as well. That's how Africa got a really great home record. We have to put a stop to that, me think. Yeah, it's gonna be a good series. Like, those two matches are going to be extremely entertaining, and hopefully they do stay relatively close. Like, the last thing I want, and I know that this sounds weird to say, but the last thing I want is like a one-sided series. I want to see both sides in both matches just going for it, because they have got the potential of playing really strong games of rugby against each other. Is Roger Randall coaching the Maori All Blacks? I know that Ross Filippo's in there. I'm not sure about Roger Randall. Of the coaching staff, I only know of Filippo, but I haven't really seen the full in-depth of who is who's in there. Was that a sentence? I feel like I forgot halfway through what I was saying, but like I said, Yamasawa did not get too many kicks over throughout that first half. He did miss, so we've had 4 kicks attempted in this game, and only one of them has actually gone over. Come on, Japan XV, says Rugby Itch, and there as well. Of course, a little bit closer to yourself, Tim, with you being in Hong Kong. For this Japan XV here over the New Zealand Maori. And Randall was gangster for Waikato. He used to be coaching Fraser Tech, says Hinks. And there as well. And which series are you looking forward to the most? South Africa versus Ireland or ABs versus England? Why are you going to give me that question, Fleshin? For me, it's it is South Africa versus Ireland. But don't tell anyone. Because, of course, I'm still very, very excited for New Zealand versus England, because I feel like that's also going to be a great, kind of series. I just wish they were 3 matches. I feel like 3 matches would get me a little bit more oomph, get me a bit more going in that regard. Amish is a Secret South African. We don't need to start that rumour. I mean, you already tried to start it on that Rugby 25 live stream yesterday, but that's all right. That game wasn't great, I'll be honest. That game did let us down a little bit in terms of waiting. What did we wait? 2.5 years to get a game that was, I think, worse than most of the other games, but it's early access. So I feel like there's a little bit of, I guess, generosity we can give them that it's still an early access game, but it did look like Rugby League Live 4, unfortunately. Second half, just around the corner. Do let me know your end score predictions, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I can't wait. It's going to be good. ABs versus England, says E-Man there. Yeah, it's going to be, for me, in terms of order of interest, I guess you could say, it's probably, for me, South Africa, Ireland, England, All Blacks, Wales, Australia, which I know is a weird one, but I feel like both sides are in a bit of a tricky predicament at the moment. They want to try and build. Then I'd probably go France, Argentina. And then I think that's all the series that we've got, other than maybe, we got Samoa, Italy, and Fiji, Georgia, and one-off games, but yeah, I don't think there's any other series per se that are taking place. Greece should be a 3-match test series every time, and 35 points to 14. It's okay, I think we all are. Can't be asked with ours against Aussie, says Fleshin. We will check the odds again. No, we already checked the odds, actually, for halftime. Still heavily in favour of the Maori All Blacks. But at one stage in this contest, they were down to about maybe $4 underdogs, the Japan XV. That was when they were able to score first. And also, we've already seen the disciplinary issues of the Maori All Blacks. One for Rami Kapoiapi, one for Cameron Suafua in terms of yellow cards that they have been able to get themselves. But, one more yellow card and Japan XV might have the opportunity of getting back into this one. Supercars Unforgettable. I have no idea what that is either. We just had an ad. Normally we get a McDonald's ad at some stage though, so I'm looking forward to that. I should mention, ladies and gentlemen, I tried the burger. It was, it wasn't the best thing I've ever had. I wonder why the bro had the giggles the other weekend, but a bit sus there. I thought he was stoned, not even. Was you owl? And can't be 14 for Japan, not possible, says Nov Mum. And there as well. But, one moment. This is the burger that we were looking at, ladies and gentlemen. I added an extra patty to it because I thought that would be a great idea. And it just didn't deliver. I've got a crispy double down ad that has just popped up on the screen now. Now there's just a random bloke cooking a fish in a field. Makes sense for World Rugby. Says Mr. All-In, score prediction for this match, New Zealand Maori. Oh, you're going to test me here with Roman numerals. So, XLV. So, that's 45. There you go. 45 to 17. Is that correct, Grant? Did I get that right? Maybe. Nov Mum can be 14. 3 penalties makes 14, but unlikely. Says Joe Webby. And also just finished watching Whistleblowers, solid documentary. Go watch it. You'll love it. 10 out of 10. Says, no, yeah, it's quite insightful in terms of what the referees actually go throughout a World Rugby period. Or just in terms of a competition period for themselves. But, yeah. Wait, just licking the screen. Well, while you're licking the screen, be sure to hit that like button as well while you're at it. See if you can hit that like button with your tongue. Don't actually do that, ladies and gentlemen. That's probably very unhygienic. But, give it a go. Looking through at the... Oh, I have the benches, ladies and gentlemen. I forgot I had those. There we go. So, we've already seen Rame Kapoihapi make his way onto the field for the New Zealand Maori. We also saw Ollie Lawrence. We saw Ollie Norris start this game at 17. They've got Tyrone Thompson, Pauli Raketi Stones, Hicks, TK Howden, and then Tahuri Ringi, and also the youngster, or the new man, Tuhaka Rana, there at number 23 for the Japan XV, Naito Saito, probably the most notable name there. And overall, like a very young Japan XV side, so we'll have to wait and see exactly how they end up going. And the second 40, correct, says Grant. And there's no ads here. YouTube Premium, just $4 a month. Says Dwayne, a Bokken Aussie coach in Japan and North Korea in the next World Cup. Says Tane. And where's our pizza? Ow, says Blues Nate. And as well, I am a butter broke uni student. Says Simran, I did yak, says Dennis. And there as well. I'm impressed that I actually got that. That's one thing. Back at school, I had an intrigue for Roman numerals, which is a bit of a weird one. Oh, you've got you, Hamish. You're good, man. I managed to bump into you and old mate in the supermarket in Timmers about a year ago. But been too scared to chat these since I was so nervous. Legend says MDK. Wow. We did not expect you to be back, but we've still got the picture. I won't put it up on the screen because you probably don't want me to, but it is good to see it. You are still the only person who has recognised us out in public. So that is quite something, ladies and gentlemen. Just a little fun fact there about Highfield, New World. Drink every time Ollie Lawrence is mentioned, says Grant. And there as well. Yeah, I accidentally said his name, like 6 times in this live stream already. They're just talking about the fact that Daniel Rona is still out on the field. Oh, sorry, he is still off the field due to his HIA. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Your name was Matthew, wasn't it? MDK15, I believe. Hopefully I've got that correctly. Or got that correct, I should say. If I've remembered your name after like year and a half and not seeing you, I feel like that is that is worth a round of applause of some sort, you know. Not from you, of course, but from the others. Now, Reves Reihana about to kick this one off. So, failed HIA for Daniel Rona. He will not be returning in this match. Who do you think is fighting Parker next? My mate says it should be Zhang. Haven't they fought, though? I feel like Joseph Parker, he's right on the verge of... I know that this is, like, down the road a little bit, but surely he's on the verge of a good shot at the champ. Which I think at the moment... Is it Joshua? Is he the champ at the moment? Is he just fighting everyone to try and become the champ? Maybe Joshua? Would be quite a cool fight to watch. Damn right, Amish Matthew it is. I was absolutely bricking it, man. But no, I had to say something. You deserve more than a round of applause from me. Says Matthew. Because that was a long time ago. I don't think I've been to that New World since. Oh, no, I've been there once. Because we went to, you know, the new countdown. That's quite large. So we've been in there a few times. But, oh, that's a good shot from Balin Sullivan. But yeah, hopefully you are keeping well. Hopefully you did enjoy summer Super Rugby. Almost back into the All Blacks season, of course. Usyk is the overall champ. Because he beat Joshua, didn't he? I still remember that one boxing fight we did on the channel. And it involved Usyk and Joshua. And at the end, Joshua was like, give him 3 cheers, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, team. There's more Kiwis tonight. And also Richie and Dan are probably at the game. I've just seen a photo of them at the stadium and AJ fighting for it. Says Mr. Orlin, I missed all the cricket past week. What happened? So, South Africa versus India Cricket World Cup final is what is on the cards. And that is at 2:30 a.m. New Zealand time. So, in about 3.5 hours' time is when that one's going to start up. Reves Reihana now kicks that one into touch. Fury to get the last belt. Maybe you'll get your round of applause when you say... I almost said Lawrence there as well, but Norris. Starts with an N. L-M-N. Like, they're close in the alphabet, but it doesn't really make up for it, does it? Kurt Eklund, ready to throw this one in again here for the New Zealand Maori. So Oz and New Zealand got knocked out of the cricket. Yeah, New Zealand were done for early on, to be honest. Like, they were out before Australia. They were out before the West Indies. They were out before, I think, USA, Pakistan, all those sides. Or maybe Pakistan got knocked out as well. And when you win the lotto, don't forget to install pizza joints outside my house. I open my front door. Oh, that's a nice run out wide. And Balin Sullivan will get the early try in the second half for the Maori All Blacks. Up to 22 points on the board now. This game is starting to get that little bit more one-sided. Celebrating big time there. Balin Sullivan lights that one. He actually did his brother's try celebration. I wonder if it was his first. I think Zahn is the younger brother. I might be wrong, though. Your memory is wicked. All is well now. Man, back into your stream. Feel free to share the pic if you'd like. Says MDK. Right, I'll find it. Because I know that I've still got it as well. Because, like, it was quite funny the way that George was like, you want a photo? And you were kind of like, I guess so. As we were going away. There we go. Got the classic Kiwi food. Oh, this was back when I had long hair too, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. That's a bit of a throwback picture. If it will focus. There we go. Look at that. Back at New World. Me, George, and Matthew. Do you still have the mullet? Or have you got rid of the mullet at this stage? Because I'd assume if you haven't got rid of it by now, it's going to be extremely long, I would think. I want one for sure, man. I was just too scared to ask, says MDK. It was the chick on the left. That was me, wasn't it? Yeah, I did have long hair back then, ladies and gentlemen. That wasn't my best choice, I'll be honest. I feel like short hair works a little bit better. Where was that pick? It was outside of a New World, which is a supermarket here in New Zealand. And that was from like 2.5... I don't know whether it was 2.5 years ago. It was a little while. 6th of December 2022. So like 18 months. Somewhere around there. Bro, I haven't had a haircut since. Rocking the 70s cuts, says MDK. Oh, Well, if it was long there, it will certainly be a lot longer now, I'd assume, in the 18 months. So your hair's probably grown like this long and mine's shortened by that much. Or that same amount. Dapper gents there, man, says Matthew. And da boys, says Mr. All-In. It's the snacks for me, you know. There's the Bluebird chips, there's the dairy milk, there's the Sour Patch Kids. And there's also, I think it's a Monster Energy. It's a good choice. Now starving after you put that burger on here. Too lazy to get my butt and cook. Send food. 2022, sorry man, I need to repay my debts. As a supporter, I've been slack, says MDK. That's understandable though, it's been a busy time. Since then, that's another penalty going the way. Oh, the Japan XV, they wanted to go quickly and Sam Knockers dragged him down. That was almost bad enough to get a yellow card. Did you watch the French final last night? Reckon Blues could beat Toulouse? It was a disappointing final in a way, wasn't it? Like, Toulouse did brilliantly, right? But it was just a shame that, like, Bordeaux just didn't show up at all. Afghanistan and Bangladesh made it through to the Super 8 at the Cricket World Cup. They certainly did. Afghanistan probably the side that knocked us down up the Bluebird chips on club card discount this week. Oh, yeah, they're 3 for 5, aren't they? Which I shouldn't know, but I went there yesterday or 2 days ago and got to see them. Better stop interrupting, such a legend, man. Says Matthew, well, thank you very much for popping in. It's been great to see you again. Currently 5 metres out from the line here for the Japan XV. Opportunity to get, tell you what, that's a good rolling maul, and are they over? I don't know how New Zealand have stopped that. Probably illegally, I would say, or is it? No, they've managed to drag it down nicely, and they get the turnover. That was great rolling maul defence, because that looked like for all money that Japan XV were going to be able to make their way forward. Who's getting to pizzas, says Glenn Woods. I love some pizza. Had some pizza yesterday, fun fact. What was it? It was a margarita, but I added chicken because that seemed like a good idea. And it was. It was smoked chicken, I think, though. A little bit fancier. Looks like now Taiki Koyama will make his way from the field, and that brings Naito Saito out onto the field. Nice one, some run. Pizza and chicken drumsticks marinade for me. David Kidwell is milking some good rugby gigs. Assistant to Cheka to Eddie, or from Cheka to Eddie, says Inouye. Currently 33 minutes left in this matchup. New Zealand have got the ball. No, we've got another scrum reset. Just the 1 minute remaining of Ramika Poihipi's yellow card. Smoked chicken. Yeah, I haven't had smoked chicken in about 10 years. And I don't know why, because it's quite good. Also had like, it was a cheese and garlic bread it was supposed to be, but it was actually a mini pizza. And that went very well too. Although it was quite strong garlic. It kind of had a burnt garlic taste to it. I probably wouldn't have it again. I don't know how this became a food review. We're just waiting for the scrum to reset at the moment. Sounds like a very yum pizza, says Simran there. Certainly was. It was that yum that unfortunately I spilt some on my pants because they were hungry too. But now, oh, that's a good scrum from Japan XV again. But here comes Cullen Grace breaking off the back of the scrum. Beef Strong Enough is good. I've never had beef strong enough, I don't think. Reves Rehana now. It's the ball into touch. Oh, yeah. I forgot long hair Hamish existed. I want to forget that long hair Hamish existed. It was just not a good choice. I don't know what I was trying to prove. I think it was just more of the case of I was like, at some stage, I'm probably going to go bald. So, like, I might as well try long hair before I can't grow it anymore. So, yeah, it was an interesting choice. If I could go back, I'd probably chop it all off. I wish you covering the Under-20 World Cup CK. We're hoping to cover one game this weekend. I'm a little bit worried, though, because there are so many games that are taking place overlapping with the international games next week. So it feels a bit wrong starting a competition that I won't be able to end, but hopefully we get some times where it doesn't really overlap too much. Smoked chickens, oh yeah, says Blues Nate. Along here for real guitar players, says Glenn. But yeah, the finals of the under-20s I have seen, although they've got some midweek games, so that might actually benefit us a little bit maybe in terms of the timings. Had long hair, then I shaved it off due to chemo, and then it grew back, and now I am keeping it short. Says a nov mum there. Sam Knock. Going to the right. That's left. Almost had it right. It was a 50-50. Rami Kapoyapi back onto the field. Japan XV looking for the turnover. He wasn't even on the ball there. The ref was keen to give the penalty. I think that's what Quintal Pai is saying. He was saying he was halfway down my body. He had his hands on a different type of balls. Now going off, Naito Saito. Going to the left-hand side here. Here comes Wanga. Puts the ball on the outside to Nizuka. And from 1970 to 1990s, long hair then cut short, number 3. Says Kevin. Now going across, Cole Forbes. Cut out pass to Balin Sullivan. Inside ball, Rameka Poihipi puts it down. Bump off there and they'll go back up the All Blacks, says Jason. And there as well, go long again. Nothing better than a ball top and a long ponytail guitar playing man. I was thinking about food, then I jumped in and now I'm definitely hungry. Not even sure what we're talking about, but I saw pizza. Yeah, pretty much pizza's the main gist of it. Do love me some pizza. And different balls, says Blues Note. Lately there's been a trend though, which is pretty much every single live stream I end up talking about food. And I'm not mad about it because I like food. And hopefully you guys like food too. Because, you know, it's needed. Right, Ollie Norris has left the field. Kurt Eklund giving the crowd a round of applause. He has done his job for the day. Just looking through it, who else they might change. TK Howden. He'd probably come on for Cameron Suafor. Taylor Swift were playing in the Viva Stadium last night. Mate of mine reckons she was doing more sprinting than most of them South African lads did the last time they played there. Lol, says Dennis. Where was she sprinting? I guess you got to run around quite a bit, don't you? You got to do a few of the outfit changes. And a concert, they've gone in there, Japan, but they haven't got the turnover that they were after. Most certainly looking forward to it in the next weekend. First All Blacks match, says Novmum. Going back across to the left-hand side. Hello, Els Yas Pizza is on the menu, says Blues Nate. Now knock. 10 metres out from the line here. This one's going to be kicked towards the touch line and just stays in the field of play. Well taken by Nizuka, who tries to go through. Got a donation from Matthew as well. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated. Tell you what, for $16.99, I could get that Bluebird bag of chips, Sour Patch Kids, the Cadbury block of chocolate, and the Monster, I would say. Would probably come to about that same amount. Could go a double down or two. Yeah, double downs need to be bigger, is the only thing I'd say, because they're just too small, aren't they? How should you try marinated chicken drumsticks? What type of... I've tried like barbecue marinated, but I feel like I'd love a honey soy chicken drumstick or something like that, you know? Something... What else can you marinate? Sweet chili sauce, I've done that before, but that's not too fancy, I guess you could say. I've kicked this one towards the touchline now for the Japan XV. "27 minutes left in this contest. A solid thumbs up. Enough for the pain of heart, that's for sure, says MDK. Now Tyrone Thompson hanging on to this one at the back of the rolling molly. Bumps away. Moves up to 40 metres out. And there's been some good physicality shown by this loose forward trio for the Japan XV. Sounds like a good menu, says Ellie. A knock. Going back across to the right-hand side. Might almost be a turnover. Yes, it is again. The Japanese getting the breakdown. This time, Shimokawa, I think it was, who managed to get the turnover. They've tried to take this one quickly, the Japan XV, and they have got possession out wide. Now, Samasoni Tours actually got through 2 more honey soy. Just need gravy and potato mash. Or mashed potatoes and satay chicken. Oh, that'd go all right. I feel like anytime we have a live stream now, we just learn about different foods that we could have. That's a great step. Looks like Lachlan McWannell may have just lost his... Well, he didn't lose his leg, but it hurt his leg. Pori Rakati Stones goes away now to Quinn Tupaia. Trying to make his way forward. And Pleasure's Mind Blues. Hamish wants a honey marinated chicken. Someone's feeling spicy today. Yep, being pretty adventurous. That's going to be a knock on there. Oh, that's charged down by the Maori All Blacks. This game's just breaking out at the moment into a bit of a frantic scramble. TAB is paying $18 for the All Blacks to be undefeated in 2024. Says Novman. That one's going to go into touch. Nice kick there from the Maori All Blacks. Well, yeah, for God's sake, stop talking about food. You're making me drool here, says Dennis. Where did the mana wave come from? Sorry, just yesterday somewhere, says Glenn Woods. Oh, okay, it was passed back there. So it will not be a 50-22. About to be thrown in here for Japan, stolen by Suafua. Now Tyrone Thompson. Good run from him. Trying to make his way forward. Japan, his feet again, managing to steal it. Cole Forbes has been a gun this season. Yeah, he's looked really good for the Blues. And in any other side with his form, he probably would have been getting a lot more minutes. But because they had Plummer as well as Stephen Perafeta, like, it just does make it very tricky for him to get a lot of game time. But hopefully next season he'll get a little bit more. We had an air fryer meat. Comes out just great. Need no oil, says Kevin. You like my missus and kids, Hamish? Wait, you like my missus and kids, Hamish? Keeping up with all the new food. The new food store. Sorry, I really struggled to read that one, didn't I? But yeah, I don't mind a good special every once in a while. Like, you know, gotta love a supermarket. So Max Hicks and TK Howden are not too far away from making their way onto the field here. Question is, who is it going to be for? TK Howden normally plays more of that 6 or 7. Don't think he'd go... Would he go to 8 for Cullen Grace? I think McCurran is making his way onto the field there. Lachlan McWannell makes his way off. It looks like Te Toiroa Tahuriarangi is not too far away from also making his way onto the field. Samasoni Tua, he is off for the Japanese. We have currently got another 24 minutes remaining in this contest. Wonder if you could eat a frozen chicken without cooking the thing. I don't think it would be worth the risk, Dennis, I'll be honest. I feel like maybe, you know, they probably say cook it for a reason, you know. Chicken's probably not one of those things that you want medium rare or raw. I would say that one's going to be driven into touch there. Good defence from the Maori All Blacks. Is Eddie getting paid? He certainly will be. He'll be getting probably about as much as he got for Australia, if not maybe even higher. Lasan Sullivan at fullback until his injury, says Joe Webby. That is true. And that was actually where we got to see some of Cole Forbes. Here comes Quinn Tupaia. They're only about 5 metres out from the line now. Going to the short side. Early shot on Morby, but it's going to be knocked on. Triple T really fell down the pecking order. He did. Like, the sad thing for him is he went to the Crusaders thinking he was going to get more game time, and he did a little bit, but then he still was about the third choice halfback for them. Then he went back to the Chiefs thinking that with Brad Weber gone, he was going to get more game time, and it became Cortez Aratama and Xavier Rose. So no matter where he goes at the moment, he always seems to be the third choice halfback rather than the first or second. And not sure, to be honest, thought it was just a chur things in the old days with mana wave. You have to check chicken or you get food poisoning. That's not what I really want pizza. Says Ellie there. Well, you could, but we would likely be praying to porcelain god. Geez, that's a good lid. There we go. Got it in the end. It was not wanting to come off though, unfortunately. I could have finished that, but I thought I'd better not. I don't want to be greedy. But that is another penalty to Japan XV. Their scrum is good. Like, they have just gone for it throughout this game. And their scrum has just timed it to perfection every time and just pushes forward. Saw one of the Wars doing it today. Says Glenn Woods in there as well. But now Japan will be able to kick this one towards the touchline with Yamasawa. That one's gone out. Just inside of Maori All Blacks territory. They need a try now, though, if they want to get back into this contest, because believe it or not, if they score 3 tries here, they are back in. Pizza party, everyone, let's get it. Says Blues Nate. I feel like the pizza party, that would be a great thing to do, wouldn't it? That's true, Dwayne. Yeah, you definitely should not eat raw chicken, just to clarify. Not a good idea. Right, Balin Sullivan now making his way from the field. Thrown in, slap back for Tyrone Thompson. Cameron Suafua goes over the top. Running onto that one was Reves Arehana. And Japanese get in territory now. Yeah, they're starting to push the New Zealand Maori back a little bit more. I think it's going to be a hard one to get back into the contest, though, just because New Zealand seem to be getting the ball quite a bit. And breakdown-wise, though, I feel like breakdowns and scrums, I would probably give both in the advantage. Oh, nice charge down there for the big man, Wanga. Now Cole Forbes is back there. Great plan. This is needed. Where are we getting the pizza from? Raw chicken pizza as well, of course, right? Now, nice attack and run from Yasaki. Has definitely been one of the standouts for Japan XV throughout this game. All about the chat on here. I'm looking at a frozen bird with a glee in my eye. Throw in the oven, says Dennis. They'll make a very nice snack in about an hour and a half, or maybe an hour 45, depending on the size of your chicken. But that's going to go out wide now into the hands of Josh Morby. Had a quiet day at the office out wide. I'm going to Sullivan's wing just a little bit more. Had my slow cooker bubbling away all week. I just kept adding more meat and veggies to it, says Gary. What literage is your slow cooker, Gary? How many litres can you stick in that thing? There's going to be another charge down kick. New Zealand just seem desperate to get rid of the ball at the moment. They just want to give it back to the Japan XV rather than just running it, because they are making metres from running. Now Triple T back into the pocket again. New Zealand will kick it away. I ate huge beef ribs for my Kai tonight. Says Glenn. It's going to be an awkward bouncing one. Goes back onto the side. Max Hicks kicks it in behind. Gives it away to the Japan XV. Now another offload. Running up the middle. Beautiful attack and run. And flicking on the inside, but Naito Saito has put it down, and there goes the youngster, the new man. At 23, he's got 2 with him. He goes to Triple T on the inside. He's going to pass it out wide. And it's Rameka Poihipi who scores the try. No pizza for me, getting Jolly B, Philippines fast food. It's like KFC with his but with chicken, rice, and spaghetti. Matt gets here, sells spaghetti too. That's pretty fancy. Nice. Our slow cooker is 3 litres. And George looks like he should be a chicken and dairy farmer. Well, to be fair, they're kind of dairy farmer. They've got cattle. But he had chickens, and then his dog got to them, I think. In the end, I actually can't wait for the ICC Cricket World Cup final between South Africa and India. First World Cup final ever. Says Mornay. Oh, man. Haven't seen a call like that since, says Mr. Holland. Great run forward. And then to Huriarangi. He was there. And got it away to Rameka Poihipi. Shout out to everyone when payday comes around. Says Blues Nate. Sam knocking Q Eklund having a bit of a joke on the sidelines about that try, which I do actually need to add to the scoreboard, but this one's starting to get a little bit more one-sided now, ladies and gentlemen. Still with about 16 minutes remaining. That kick has gone over, so 29 points to 5 in favour of the New Zealand Maori. Rameka Poihipi, he was calling for it the whole way. What's your prediction for India versus South Africa? It's going to be a good one. We are actually going to get to watch the start of that one, as we won't be streaming during it, but then we will be streaming near the end of that game. I believe if we do end up doing South Africa under-20s versus Fiji under-20s, which I think is going to be the plan. Who's winning next week, Hamish? It's going to be a good one. We got a lot of videos coming out in the next kind of 7 days or so. Probably every single day we will almost have something on the channel. India hoping it's South Africa, says Dwayne. Now taking it inside of the 22. Here come New Zealand Maori again. Get paid every fortnight, says Kevin. Now back across. Tyrone Thompson gets the offload away to Max Hicks, who has knocked their ball on. Looked like Japan XV may have knocked it on by themselves as well, but now the space is again there for them to run into the 22. How long is the knock-on advantage? That one's going to be dropped, and it wasn't very long at all because New Zealand Maori now have got their ball back. Ramika Poihipi with the pick and go around the side of the breakdown again. How do you like your chicken with food poisoning, please? Says Katzenel. Now, Triple T goes back into the pocket to Revez Rehana. Again, his kick has been charged down. I'm very confused at why New Zealand are obsessed with trying to put themselves in tricky positions in this game. I've recently discovered rump steak sausage. It's the bee's knees. Rump steak sausage. What do you do with that, Grant? Do you grind up a rump steak and make it into a sausage, or is it like, you know how there was a while ago that you could like get a sausage case, like an actual plastic thing that you close and it would make the shape of a sausage. Have you got one of those? South Africa need a lot of luck and skills, in my honest opinion. India really have been playing awesome. A solid when, where, what time, I'll be there. And the bad state is 10. And what's the weather like your way, mate? Rain here again. Will it ever stop, says Dan. So we're 3 degrees Celsius at the moment. So it's a bit chilly, but it's not terrible. Looks like Sato is now onto the field. Maori kicking this one into touch. Ramika Poihipi not the happiest with it. Looks like Renata is off and Kumiroa is now on. One of the replacements. Grace is off and TK Haldon is on. And 3, if that says Dwayne, that's exactly right, Hamish, says Grant. Nice. So you got a mincer, or is it a mincer that you need? I assume so. At 3 degrees, says Glenn. Yeah, it's not the warmest. Are you going to cover the second innings of the T20 World Cup final? We are not, no, because that is when we've got the overlap. And covering just the first innings, to me, wouldn't make too much sense. Calling an Outsiders not winning next year, says Mr. All-In. Going to be kicked down beyond nicely, taken there inside of the 22 there by Revez Rehana. Does get it into touch. We're here in Hokitika at 5 degrees, says Kevin. Yeah, it's not very warm in New Zealand at this time of year. We're getting into that winter period. Currently 14 minutes remaining. A game that at the moment feels like it's already decided. You know, I don't think we're going to see any outrageous comeback here from the Japan XV. They may score again, though. They probably deserve to score one more with the way that they have played. Going to the right-hand side, Naito Saito. Goes across, Porirakiti Stones has to make the tackle on the big man, Wanga. Saito again. I think they've got one more of them. Smashed them, bro. Believe it or not, it was 3 degrees in Perth, Australia the other day, says Glenn. Yeah, that's almost unheard of for Perth, isn't it? Oh, this looks like Wanga might have some sort of injury and back play. I bought it at the shop on my recent trip home. That was a smart choice. So you got to... Oh, does the Curry Cup kick off tonight? I didn't even know that. I don't think they show it in New Zealand anymore, sadly. Well, that's the penalty. What's the Huriorangi doing there? That's a bit rough. I think Naito Sato was going around the side. And then the Huriorangi was kind of tapping his head as if to say, like, you know, use your brain type thing, which seems a bit rough when you're winning by 24 points. Maybe that's why he's third choice halfback. And next week, Saturday, on the Kiwi Lads, Ellie Hills, Hamish, can order the pizza. He can send me the bill, says Blues Nate. 8 degrees Celsius in Melbourne, says Joe Webby. Under 20 rugby starts today. Looking forward to it. Says Jan Lu there. And Curry Cup starting next weekend. Heading back to the attack fridge. And thanks, lads, for getting my butt off the chair. Got the best of me, says Dennis for the hunger. And Mornay, South Africa winning T20 World Cup. We used to get the butcher to make wild pork sausages for us back in the day, says Glenn. So a couple more changes are being made now for these two sides. Still 12 minutes left, plenty of time for either to bring up 1 or 2 more tries perhaps. Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see if we get 1 or 2 more tries. I hope we do anyway. I've been told to use it here for the rolling maul. Going short side. Tauriorangi. Trying to go through and looks like it might have been a turnover. No, not quite. So on the side of the Maori All Blacks. I'm back again. Reves Rayahana. He's gone straight through this time. He's got Suafua with him. Pass on the outside. Rameka Poiapi will get himself another. Morby was waiting for it on the outside, but he did not get it. Can't eat virtual pizza, sadly. Says Ali. It's the thought that counts, though, isn't it? First innings of the final, of ICC final, you're going to cover. It means that you're going to cover the Under-20 Championship. Says Morne Lagrange. Victoria Bitter from Australia, says Manny M. Yeah, great pass from Cameron Suafua. Seems like a lot of the players are struggling with the running on this turf that is breaking away as they look to kind of pin the ears back and get striding. Looks like again Rameka Poiapi. He's going to be going for that. If Hamish was pineapple on his pizza, he needs to pay you double the amount. Says Grant. I don't think I put the pineapple on the pizza this time. I really do want pizza though. Even though I only had pizza yesterday. I shouldn't have pizza again until like 2 weeks' time. But I'm getting tempted, you know. The good news is the closest pizza place is 30 minutes away. So that kind of stops you from getting it. You have earned your thirst. Get a beer down you. Says Minium. I mean, I've got water, which is quite nice. That's going over again there. Nicely done. And do you think Japan XV will improve for next week? Is it? Yeah, so 6.5 days' time, I think, when they are going to be playing again, or somewhere around that 7-day mark. I think it's also on the Saturday, but yeah, it's going to take a bit. I feel like they'll improve some parts of their game. I think the New Zealand Maori will also get a little bit better. Is it a Supreme Pizza, Hamish? No, I'm a fan of... The last pizza I had was yesterday. That was a margarita with added smoked chicken, and I was very happy with that decision. What's your prediction for the Under-20s Championship? I think it's going to be a good competition. I'm not sure who's going to win it, but I'm looking forward to covering some of it on the channel. What do you guys have against pineapple on pizza? It's yum, says Simran there. I much prefer a pineapple fritter, fried chicken and chips, Hamish. Now, nice pass. Chance for Japan XV to score themselves a try out wide. Little flick from Tuidraki, and they will go back for another penalty. Close as anything is 30 minutes away from you, Hamish. Or close as anything is 30 minutes away. That's not true. We've got a supermarket, which is like 3 minutes away. It's pretty cool. Got food. It's nice. I agree wholeheartedly. I've been having it forever, says Glenn. Oh, that kick went over, didn't it? I will go like that. 36-5 now. That's what the score is sitting at. Draki's had an alright game. Hello from Hawaii, says Eric J. Welcome in. Have a curry flavoured pizza today, Hamish. I don't think we have curry flavoured pizzas. Not where I am, anyway. Yeah, not that I can think of. They have like a new pizza, which is cheese and more cheese. Did you ever eat in a spare rib pizza? I have not. Nice run forward, so close to the line for the Japan XP, but they will go back for the original knock on. Heading away. Thanks, Hamish. Keep up the great stuff. Who said working for yourself was a good idea? They have to show young lads, girls how to plant a hedge, says Dennis. Just wait till we can Google pizza and put our arm into the screen and eat it. Butter chicken pies are so much better than the curry pizza. That's true. Butter chicken pies go hard. I agree with you there. Now we have got, my grandmother was born in Fairlie. Oh, so she'd know a thing or two about a pie, wouldn't she? Unless she moved away from Fairlie. Of course, Fairlie Bakehouse, well known for their pies. Big Mac pizza from Domino's. Anyone taste like Big Mac? I have not tried that one, no. They've got a new steak one, I think. Or at least they do in Australia. Now another scrum reset. We've seen quite a few of those throughout this game. I'm doing England with the Indian flavoured chicken on the pizza. We have got there, you can't beat cheese and onion toasted sandwich quick and easy. Beam me up. Said New Zealand racism is okay. I was waiting for someone to comment it. It's taken 74 minutes, but you got here in the end. Welcome in. Especially when they're homemade, even better. Sounds like a lot of effort to home make a pie, doesn't it? That one's gone down again. And that is going to be the penalty going the way of the Japan XV. They have dominated scrum time throughout this contest, and curry has way too much flavour for Hamish. Adding 2 pinches of salt is too spicy for him. She moved to Whakatane when she got married, says Glenn Woods. Right, looks like they're going to go for the scrum again. I'm a chicken pie and steak pie. It's absolutely delicious. Like both in the same pie, Mornay, or like different pies? Yeah, Eddie Jones, we love him what he's seeing from these scrums. I wish I got to see urologist next week, man's problem. Hopefully it does go all right for you, Kevin. Boil up pie. Right, more space asked for. Be a man, eat lard. Do you have doner kebabs in New Zealand? I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Hello, all. I am early. Yeah, only 76. Oh no, 75 minutes through. You're earlier than you could have been. Can they get over the line here again, though? You might be their lucky charm. A Balti curry pie is good. Oh, that scrum almost collapsed onto the ref. There's going to be a free kick now in favour of the Japan XV. Okay, they're not allowed to call for the scrum because this game is being played under the new laws. So they do just take the quick tap and go. Saito Saito passes on the outside. It is the bounce pass. And it still finds the hands of Nizuka. To the right now. And behind, short ball knock on. Who is in the AB's team? Who was in the AB's team? As in like the Maori All Blacks side. Notable names who were very close to the All Blacks. Probably Quintupaya, Cullen Grace. Who else have we got out there? I can see Suafoa, Rami Kapoepi, Pori Dakity Stones. Quintupaya is down at the moment with some sort of injury. That doesn't look good. Looks like he's holding the shoulder here for Quintupaya. Have you ever stopped by the 09, mate? Look, for a Bushman pie? Says Mr. Orlin. I have a beef bourguignon pie today at the shops. Delissimo. Says Eglin. Good tucker, says Eric J. Right, Takamoto has made his way on for Japan with just a few minutes remaining in this matchup. We've got a water break, I believe, at the moment. Also, while Quintupaya gets that little bit of attention for his shoulder, I believe time has been turned back on now. Position is 50-50. So, you know, New Zealand have brought it back pretty well compared with some of the early stats that only had them with about maybe 30% possession and territory throughout the early stages of the contest. Yes, they are. Any pie from New Zealand is better than the pies we get here in Sydney, says Doctor. Now, Te Huri Rangi. To feed this ball in. Oh, another free kick goes the way of the New Zealand Maori. So, because of the new rules, you cannot take another scrum. They do have to go for either the tap or just the boot it, which I think is what they're going to do. So, Antoine Dupont playing awesome rugby. He's a beast. There's Glenn Woodson, of course, is going to be playing in the Olympics. Why most seriously doesn't have a pizza place. If the place is dire, but that's just cool. Like, we have a pub that I believe does a pizza. But other than that, I think that would be the only pizza you can get in town, other than like one from the frozen food section in the supermarket. Oh, there might be a restaurant in town that might do one too. But not like a specialist pizza place. Like not a Pizza Hut or a Domino's or Sal's or Hell's or all of those ones. What do you think of new rule for scrums? It's interesting. We'll see whether or not it works out well. That's a nice little jump behind and then just knocked on by Rameka Poihepi. And different pies, Hamish. But I did eat a steak and chicken once together. Actually, not too bad. But don't tell that to anyone. Says Molly Grange. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had something with chicken and beef in it at the same time. That's a lie. I've had combination fried rice, which has chicken and beef in it. Other than that, nothing like a burger with both in it. It must be really sad for you, Hamish, since you love Pizza Hut. That is true. I do enjoy a Pizza Hut. Might go there in the near future. Mountain oyster pie is great, says Doctor. And Stargazy pie in Devon and Cornwall. You can have Sal's if you're keen to pay $40 for a pizza. Yeah, it's quite interesting that it is so expensive for pretty much the same pizza as you can get from the other places. But yeah, I haven't actually been there yet because of the price of their pizzas. 90 seconds left in the contest. That's another loose ball. Going right back for another penalty. What's your favourite burger game? It's just one that's like, I don't mind just a basic burger, chicken or beef. Probably chicken. I would say a chicken burger goes well. Hello guys, hope you're both well. But we're looking lazier and lazier. I'm so hungry now though, need to start Googling. Mountain oyster pie, is that like opossum pie? It's ours and Dunners. Some great specials probably because of all the uni students. Although you have to wonder, going to Dunedin, right? It's like 2 and a bit hours from myself. So you got to wonder, would the fuel, how much pizza would I have to eat so that the fuel price and the pizza price outweigh going 30 minutes away? Because it sounds like I'd have to eat a lot of pizza. I might need some help if I was to do so. Now that's getting close for Japan XV. Can they get over this time? No, just 1 metre short, out wide, and they will score the last try of the contest. It looks like they want one more. Have they got time? Japan XV, it looks like they might do if they take this one right now. Hey, hope you're doing well. I'll lower you like that, says Doctor. If they got time to be able to take this one, he's going to run it back, lines up the kick. He has missed it. And I think they've got just enough time left on the siren. I'll be happy to provide my time to help you with eating pizza, says Simran there. At least anyone wants to order me pizza, says Ellie Hills. And I was a big limber road pizza. And yeah. So it was nice to see Japan XV get one try. Right at the end of this one, they have still got enough time to go for one more play in this game. That was their goal, to get one last chance after scoring there. I don't think they'll kick this one out. It would be weird for them to do so after rushing a kick, I would think. And yes, Eric, they are so yum. And World Rugby won't want or don't want the whole Northern Hemisphere in the championship. Here's Mr. Allin. Now kicking it off here. Reves Rehana going high. That's a big knock back there for the Maori All Blacks as they look to get a little bit closer there. 22 metres out. This might cost Japan XV one more. Tritadana's 8 pizzas plus, says Glenn Woods there. What else does Dunedin have? I guess they have a KFC. They have everything. All the food options. Oh, Billy Harmon having a hard time trying to regather that ball. I think Japan XV should almost get themselves, or no, not quite, get in the possession. Oh, New Zealand thought about kicking it out, but they go with the little chipper behind instead, which leaves massive open space for Quinn Tupaia, who puts the chipper behind, takes it beautifully, wants that next pass to Rameka Poihepi, and they are 5 metres out from the line now for the New Zealand XV. Big shot coming in sideways. on Reves Rehana. They want one last try. My favourite, who ate all the pies, are the lamb time ones and the venison ones. That one is a knock-on, though, from the New Zealand Maori. And that is going to be the end of the game, ladies and gentlemen. 36 points to 10. The win for the Maori All Blacks. And we'll have a game next week. We will have to wait and see whether or not both of these two sides manage to improve before these 7 days. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. We may have a live stream later on tonight at about 5 a.m, which is in 5 hours' time. That would be South Africa versus Fiji in the under-20s. I have a lot of decisions to make whether or not we are doing that one, but we might be, but we might also not be. We'll see how we're going. We'll see what we can work out for that contest. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. All throughout the week, we're going to have videos coming out based around the weekend games next weekend, which involves Ireland versus South Africa, New Zealand versus England, and all those great matches that are taking place. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all for the next one.